Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What's up, everybody? That was a little bit extra there, but that's okay. Greg Newmaster here, just your regular old action figure collector, coming at you with another video. I've got Neca's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie turtles. These are very special to me. I got them used on eBay, still really expensive. I don't have the boxes, but I was able to get them used for a good price. They look spectacular. I mean, just look at those. Like, look at how beautiful they are. We got Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello, the famous four Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Ninja Turtles are special to me because, first of all, it was the second movie I ever saw in the movie theaters. It was either, I think it was 1990, either 89 or 90 when I saw it as a little boy. The first movie I saw was Ghostbusters 2. This or Ghostbusters 2 was the first movie I ever saw in the movie theater. I can't remember. I think it was Ghostbusters 2. But anyhow, created by the mighty Jim Henson, the look and feel of these turtles. A little backstory about the turtles. Who would have thought that Kevin Eastman and the other guy, I forget his last name, Laird, I think it is, would have struck gold with such a ridiculous idea based on Daredevil, because they wanted to work for Marvel, and I believe they got rejected. And then as a competition amongst themselves, just playing around, one of them drew a Ninja Turtle. And then another one drew another Ninja Turtle, and then they kind of came up with this brainchild. But pretty much based on Daredevil, and became a comic book sensation underground. Then it became a cartoon sensation, which anybody who grew up in the 80s and 90s watched the original Ninja Turtles. Then it became an action figure sensation, and I would say the Ninja Turtles are the toys that I had the most of as a kid. I think anybody in my generation did. There were just so many of them, and they were awesome too. Like even the vehicles, like you had the Turtle Blimp, the Turtle Van, the Pizza Thrower. Me, my sister, and some of my best friends, we used to just play games with the Pizza Thrower. It was like this tank that shot pizzas, and it shot them far. Shot them at least 20 feet. And we'd play like dodgeball with the Pizza Thrower. There was the Technodrome play set. There was the Turtle Lair play set. I had them all because I just love these figures so much, and I have a huge family, and everybody bought me toys. Both my parents were one of 7. So I was fortunate and spoiled to get ridiculous amounts of Ninja Turtles. So the movie, when the movie came out, they were just so beautifully designed. I'll never forget, there's this image in my mind from the movie, the very first Ninja Turtles movie, live action. And there's this part where the Turtles have to go to a farm, and April is doing drawings of the Turtles, and she draws Leonardo sitting there. And I remember seeing that image and just seeing how beautiful it looked. I think it was a watercolor image she drew, or whoever drew it, but like her character drew it in the film. And it was just this gorgeous image. And aesthetically, that really caught my eye. I mean, that got me drawing as a kid, and you know, I became an artist in my own right over the years, and but that was one of the first things that really inspired my love of drawing and comic books and so on and so forth. So the Ninja Turtles have formed me, have formed my nerdiness in so many ways. And especially that movie, and especially Jim Henson's creation, and especially these. And I remember when the original Ninja Turtles action figures came out, the movie versions, they were so awesome too, and they were really hard to get. They sold out really fast, I remember, and I was only able to get a couple. I think I had Leonardo and Raphael, and they were a softer, rubbery material, so they were a little bit more articulated, I guess you could say, than the traditional Ninja Turtles toys. But when Neca came out with these guys, it just blew my mind, and I had to get them. But you know, I could only get them recently, and I had to get them used, which is okay because I got them for a good price. But these things are so expensive, so I'm just really happy to review these. So I'll review Leonardo because he's my favorite. So let's talk about what I like first. I want to talk about the look. I mean, look at this painting. Look at the shading. Look at the little dots and moles on their leg, if that's what you want to call it. There's just shading all through this green, and there's like a little rust, and look at the knee pad and just the detail there. Look at the shell and the weapons, his scabbards for his sword. Like, look at the different browns and the ropes, and just really gorgeously painted, gorgeously sculpted. Look at the shading just in the mask and in the head. I don't know if you guys can see this on camera, but there's shading and different coloring in the bandana that just looks excellent. Like, look, he even has those little dots on his head. And all the turtles are like that. Like I said, I got mine used, so there's like paint splotches here. I don't know if the previous owner did that or if that's how it came from my Leonardo, but just beautiful, beautiful. So anybody who had the original Ninja Turtles figures just knew how crappy the articulation was. The original articulation, they came on a ball joint, and only the legs and the arms could kind of move, and then the arms could move like that. And I think they had a little bit of wrist rotation, and that was it. This head, for example, is on a ball joint. Beautiful rotation, so you can get some really good posing out of this. So if you're a serious collector, you will definitely want to pose it. Each figure comes with a different bandana tie on the back. This one goes over the shoulder, or, well, I guess Leonardo's doesn't really go over the shoulder, but everybody else's goes over the shoulder. And then you can, I don't want to, okay, so that ports out, but I'm afraid I'm going to break it. A thing I don't like about these figures is they're a really hard plastic. So when the manufacturers make them with this hard plastic, they scuff easier and they're easier to break, but they look great. So yeah, so let's go over, I'm going to carefully take his weapons out. So here's another thing, is the weapons are a very solid, brittle plastic. So that can snap really easily. And because the plastic in the hands are so hard, it's really difficult to get the weapons in. So the guy I bought this off of, who did not put this in the description, this katana is busted right there, and it was glued. Liar, liar, pants on fire. You didn't tell me about that when I bought that. Not a big deal, though. He covered it up okay. But yeah, it looks like, you know, this busted when he was either putting it in the hand, or maybe Leonardo fell over and it fell, and it just busted. So, but anyhow, let's go over the articulation. So these elbow pads, and this is the same for all the turtles, no different. This is a nice soft plastic, so that's good. If you can see here, there's a double joint in the elbow, but the elbow pad prevents you from getting a complete bend. So, but you get a really nice movement there, so that's good. We got wrist articulation, so back and forth, circle. Can spin all the way around 360 degrees. Also, you get interchangeable hands with all the turtles. You get one set of interchangeable hands. I don't remember whose are who. I didn't keep the boxes, so it doesn't matter. But you can put, you know, fun hands on if you want to pose. Let's see, the shoulders. So these are all real tight. So the shoulders go up. Oh, I can force it about that far. So I can only get the shoulders up that high. This belt is a real soft plastic. This is soft, but it's glued on the back, it seems. So you can't really, you know, the fun thing as a kid with the original Turtles toys is you could take off their belts and they came with a bunch of weapons and all that kind of stuff. Super 7, the toy company, they're remaking a lot of articulated old Ninja Turtle figures, so if you liked the original Turtle figures, you can get those. Take a look at that there. So we get torso articulation, very mild though, but it comes in the top because, you know, obviously they're turtles in a shell. But so we can tilt side to side. We get a little bit of crunch there. We get a little bit of back movement, but that's pretty neat. You know, that's a pretty neat and inventive idea to put, because like, how are you going to articulate something in a shell? So look, you can even kind of see down there his chest a little bit. So we do get a little bit of torso articulation. The yellow belly part of the turtles, the torso is a soft plastic as well, so you can kind of push that in, and just so you guys can kind of see, like if you can see under the shell. I don't want to pull this off because I don't want to break it. And Leonardo is my favorite, by the way. Always liked Leo. He was the leader. So let's check the legs out. Leg goes up about that high. You probably get it higher, but I don't want to break it. We get a thigh swivel right there. So that's coming at the top of the peg. I can get him into a split, but, you know, and you want Leonardo in a split. You want all the turtles in a split because, or that's a straddle. So Leo can go into a straddle because they would have a nice Bruce Lee, beautiful sidekick. And you got to say, like in the movie, man, those stunt actors, they were phenomenal. You know, imagine wearing that rubber padded suit and just pulling off all those martial arts moves. They're doing spin kicks and flips and all kind of neat stuff. So Leo here, he can throw a nice, beautiful Bruce Lee, Jean-Claude Van Damme looking sidekick. Yeah, so you can get them in the nice split. The joints are super tight, so you want to be careful. The knee is double jointed, but like you get hindrance from the knee pad, so that's about as far as you can go. If you can see there's the double joint. So I want you guys to be able to get a good look at that. You know, if you had been thinking a long time about buying it, but you just didn't want to pull the trigger because it was so expensive. But like I said, these are just so beautiful looking. These are definitely for collectors. I mean, you can give them to your kids, but you know, I wouldn't recommend it. They're just so beautiful looking. I mean, they look exactly like the movie counterparts. And, you know, I think Neca does a really good job. We have ankle, rocker up and down. We got pivot. You can pivot. So it's really nice. Really, really nice. What else can I show you? So for Leonardo, for example, sword going in the scabbard. So it stops right there. It doesn't go all the way in. And I guess that's how Leo's swords were in the movie, and maybe I have them the wrong way, but like I said, this is a really hard plastic, these katanas, so you can snap them super easily. So I'm not going to try and force it, but yeah, so that's Leonardo looking awesome. Just, you know, Jim Henson's Creature Shop, they did such a good job. And if you're really interested in the history of the toys, might I recommend The Toys That Made Us on Netflix. They do an excellent episode about this, and it's they even have the creators, Eastman, and I believe it's Laird. I'm sorry if I'm screwing that up. I was more into the cartoon, the arcade video game, the movie, obviously. I didn't read the comics until later, so please forgive me if I'm screwing up their names. They also all come with a little piece of pizza. So the turtles got to have their pizza. Let me see. That was actually something that came from the cartoon, as their love of pizza and their Valley Girl sort of, what's up, dude, in Cowabunga. In the comics, they were brutal. The comics were way darker. They weren't like surfer dudes, and they were way more serious in the original comics. I'll just give you a quick look of everybody else. There's Mikey. Like I said, my complaint about it, see, look, that nunchuck was broken too. It looks like it was glued. So this guy lied to me about a couple things. So be sure to check your eBay sellers. But yeah, just beautiful. Like, look at the detail on that shell. Look at the shading and the coloring. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera. But it just looks gorgeous. These figures are so gorgeous. I'm so happy to have them. I will keep them forever unless I run into a tight spot, or when I have children and I have to sell them for stuff. Very first Ninja Turtles figure I ever owned was Raphael. My parents went to Germany. My aunt and my uncle were watching me. They took me to the store and they said, pick out something you want, and it was Old Hills. This is before Target was around Pittsburgh, or Walmart even. We had Hills and Ames, and Hills was the awesome department store, and they always had a thing that said, Hills is where the toys are. And we went to Hills, and I got my first Ninja Turtle action figure, which is the grumpy Raphael. The loner, the troublemaker, the kind of Wolverine character. Yeah, so there's Raph, looking really nice. The only thing I don't like about the movie Raph is I like when Raphael holds his sai in between the two figures, or in between his two fingers, and kind of has it, holds it like here instead of like a poker. So the hands that come with that, unfortunately, don't give you the option to do that. And for all you nerdy people out there who are into science and love to read and just did really well in school, they had a type for each person. So here's Donatello, the science geek, the smart one. Actually, little cloth goods right there. So you can see that's cloth to hold Donnie's bow staff. Like I said, I want to be so careful because I don't want to snap the bow. But look at how nice. Look at how beautiful that bow looks. It looks great. I'll put it in the holster for you. It's real loose, so I actually have to tie. I think I'd have to tie these knots on there just so it holds the bow staff better. But yeah, look at Donnie's face. Like, beautiful. Like, I don't know if you guys can see those eyes. Like, look at how detailed the eyes look. I also have NECA Superman and Batman from the Superman vs. Alien. And, NECA just does a really great job with their figures. They always look amazing. I don't know if you guys can see in there. You can kind of see Raph's eyes. Just the level of detail and the look. So if you are a fan of the Turtles, if you are a fan of the original movies, highly recommend these figures. I'm so happy to get them at a good price. Just one more time. There's Donnie. There's Raph. I'm so tough. Yo, Leo. Yo, Leo. Raph was always so New York. Leo's voice was always real tight. Like, hey guys, we gotta do it. Michelangelo was always like, what's up, dude? Cowabunga, man. But Leo and Donatello were very square. And Raphael was super Brooklyn. He's like, yo, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of how he always talked. So great figures. I'm probably going to get the Shredder at some point. Maybe Splinter. Highly recommend them. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. I hope you guys aren't going crazy during this coronavirus. This is ridiculous. I'm ready to go to the movies again. I'm ready to eat at restaurants. Of course, I want people to be safe, but I want the economy to start back up. People are suffering. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe. God bless you all, and peace.